McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter is brought to you by National Crime Check. Police checks fast and 100% online.
Yes, looking forward to a big game here today at Etihad Stadium. The roof is closed, a little bit of inclement weather possible today, so they've closed the roof. Great environment. To tell you what, the Bombers, I know they're playing North Melbourne today, and traditionally North haven't been great drawers here, but there is a really good crowd in here for this game today, so looking forward to something special. A lot of young players playing with North Melbourne, probably their youngest side ever in history, I would have thought today. First gamers, etc. It's been absolutely amazing. So we're looking forward to the big game today. Umpires today too: Lee Fisher, Craig Fleer and Troy Pennell. Bombers about ready to come out. North are out there warming up as we speak. Ash, we welcome you today. I know you've got the latest changes for us on this game as well.
Josh Williams, his first game comes in for North Melbourne, replacing...
Who broke that?
Robbie Tarrant, Triple M, of course. Number one station for footy.
And has broken on Triple M 15 minutes before it was actually announced to the North Melbourne players.
That's why everyone listens, and which is amazing. And you know what, BT, you said it's a very young team for North Melbourne. North basically have 4 19-year-olds playing today. They now have registered 10 debutants, which is...
Is that a record? It's got to be close.
Be right up there, but they've registered 10 debutants, which is the equal most under Brad Scott since he's been coaching the Roos. And just a couple of team stats. So the uncontested marks could be concerned for North Melbourne. The Bombers lead the comp in that particular stat. They rack up 95 per game. North 18th at 67. Past couple of weeks, Essendon have been averaging 10 goal kickers per game as well. But Michael Hurley, he's been in great form, as we know. Second ranked defender in the comp, averaging 30 disposals, 8 marks, and 80% kicking efficiency. That's over the past 4 weeks. But Sean Higgins, he's had a good year, BT. He's racking up career-high disposals, clearances and tackles.
Boss Tool Stats, that's Tool with us. Brownie, welcome you.
Yeah, thanks, Prime. Looking forward to seeing how Essendon go today. I expect them to win really comfortably. It was only a couple of weeks ago they let that game slip against Brisbane Lions, so I would have thought that Bushy would have been saying, we don't want a repeat of that. We need to show the world that we are here. We're going to be a top 8 side. We can't drop games like that. Yep. This is the one they've got to win and win it well as well, because percentage is going to be so important in jostling for the top 8 positions. I believe the Bombers will make it too.
Get your thoughts on the intricacies of this game, Duck and Nathan Brown, in just a moment. Damo, anything else to leave us with today?
Yeah, watch this space, obviously, with Nick Riewoldt, BT, playing for St Kilda tonight against the Swans.
What do you mean, watch this space?
Well, this is playing out exactly the way it was always planned to play out, and that is that the decision will not be made until the end of the year. And when I say watch this space, with 6 games left of the home and away season, maybe a final, we're within 7 weeks probably of knowing. And
so his management wanted an answer today?
Nah, look, they knew exactly how it was, BT, and I spoke to his management, Tom Petro, on Thursday, and there's an interesting quote within a larger quote, and it was, if it's over, it's over. There's a realisation that it could well go that way, and if it does, he's going to be, reluctantly albeit, but he's going to be okay with it, and will accept it publicly, graciously. But clearly when you get to this point of the season, when you do want an answer, you're not getting one. Yep. You know it's at best line ball, and the way I think we've been reading this now for some time is it's less than 50-50 for him.
Surely, Damo, they can't wait till the end of the year, because if it is all over for Nick Riewoldt, like we're doing with Luke Hodge now, surely you want 3 to 4 weeks
confidentially.
Oh, confident. Well, I hope so, because you'd like 3 to 4 weeks for. Well, I don't think it should be confidential either. You want the fans to be able to say goodbye to their champion. I mean, you're talking about a champion of that footy club and a champion of the AFL.
How many goodbyes do you want? Once or twice is enough?
Well, okay. Well, a few rounds to go, or a couple of rounds to go.
I mean, we saw what happened to Mark Bickley. He had more goodbyes than you can poke a stick at. And in the end, we were just saying goodbye.
Okay, but I just think it's really important that they get it right, because you don't want to see a Boomer Harvey scenario, and I think the way the Hawks, and more importantly, I think the way the Geelong handled, the way Geelong have handled their superstars. Now, some of those superstars were not necessarily really happy about it. They've gotten it over it now, Brownie, but it was handled in the right way.
Yeah, Hodge,
and you look where Geelong are on the ladder now, still in the top 2. Yet they've let go of some of their absolute champions.
They had a few issues with just to back over what you said, Doug. They did have a few issues with Jimmy Bartel and the way that was done. But again, in isolation, it was an issue. But in the collective of them phasing out some amazing players, you're right. They've handled it really, really well.
Anything else, Damo, before you go?
Just the concussion issue too. Cade Collar-Jasny, BT, a guy who was the runner-up in the best and fairest at the Suns only 2 years ago, out for the year with a pretty serious issue relating to concussion. Got a really heavy knock last year, played after that point, but copped another knock about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and as such, erring on the side of caution.
And I tell you what, Brian, Damien wore a really interesting pair of pants last night with a real flowery pattern all over them. It was very different sort of stuff for Damien Barrett last night.
Is that because he's trying to keep up with you young guys?
Well, I think so. I think so. It was a big day at Channel 9 yesterday when changes happen. People do silly things, and I thought his pattern pants last night,
as you know, Brownie,
were one out of the box.
It was on trend, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Damo, see you later.
See you, boys.
Damien Barrett joining us on Triple M Footy Day. We're ready to go with this one. Let's get some thoughts on the game. Wayne Carey and Nathan Brown are both here to tell us about what they're hoping to see today. Duck.
Oh, look, I think the Kangaroos, clearly a very young side that was spoken about. So, you know, they're just going to have to hang in there, BT. It's all about effort and contest by contest, and don't expect them to win because, let's be honest, the Essendon Footy Club are in really good form. And as Two-Man alluded, those uncontested marks, the thing that I love about the Bombers, and we speak about their brand of footy, they give that ball to a player that can take an uncontested mark, but he can then play on Brownie and then cut back through the corridor. And then they attack, and when they attack fast. Now, the Kangaroos are not known as a defensive team. They're known as a team that like to do a similar type of thing, and you'd have to say that the Bombers are so far advanced to the Kangaroos that this could end up a real shootout and could end up really ugly for the Kangaroos.
Well, it should end up ugly for the Kangaroos, and important today, I reckon, for the Essendon leaders to see how they handle this situation, because Woosha, Guy McKenna, the coaches can only drum into them so often how important this is to do a number on them. But then when it gets out onto the field, it needs to be taken up by Heppel, by Hurley in the back end. Obviously, Watson will do what he's done. Brendan Goddard's got to be the main man, and Joe Danaher at that end. Those 5 core team leaders have really got to take this game aggressive and make sure every other player out there knows this isn't a team that we're going to take lightly. We need to make sure everything is right today.
I don't normally say this either, but I'm looking forward to Tommy Bell-Chambers taking on Big Majak Dor in the ruck. Now, Majak hasn't been given too many opportunities. I don't think he's a forward. I know he kicked 6 goals in his first game, but hasn't even looked like that since. I think him roaming around the ground is the way that'll teach him more, I think, and get him into the game more. Tommy Bell-Chambers, well, he's found a little bit of a purple patch his last couple of weeks, hitting the scoreboard, 3 goals, 2 goals. So I reckon that'll be a really good matchup in the middle of the ground.
What about the 12 months in footy? I know we're going to get down to the boundary bristle. This, I reckon it was almost 12 months ago, Chua, that amazing game out here where Essendon was scoreless to half-time and North Melbourne had kicked 11 goals, and then Essendon nearly won.
They only lost by 14 points.
That's exactly and just a couple little stats, Ash, that I know you've given me. 16 years today, the famous comeback. 69 points, the Bombers over North Melbourne.
Correct.
Was it not?
Remember it well. Yep.
16
Were you
years
playing
ago,
in that game, Duck?
I didn't play. I was in the coach's box sitting with Pago. Wasn't pretty in there.
And today is the 70th consecutive game, 43 years, the Essendon Football Club have played North Melbourne with at least one Danaher, Fletcher or Watson in the side. Down to you, Nerily, ground level for Bob Jones Hemarts.
Just repeating a very late change here today. Robbie Tarrant out of the side with a back injury. In comes Josh Williams, the debutant. That means that for North Melbourne, no Goldstein and Thomas, who are both dropped, no Zeeble as well, so plenty of experience missing in there. They've got Swallow, Mountford, Gibson and Zerha on the bench. For the Bombers, it's Zaharakis, Myers and Laverde, as well as McKenna on the bench.
All right, we're ready to go. Umpire holds the ball aloft. North Melbourne and Essendon, Etihad Stadium. The bounce extending. Majak Dor got a little hand to it. Clearance for Higgins. High ball to half forward. It's going to land almost into the arms of Larkey. Bounced away from him. And now at half-back, it's Goddard for the Bombers.
So Goddard down the boundary line with a bit of a floater, high footy. Fantasia underneath, over the line, out of bounds. We'll throw it in centre wing, and Merritt immediately giving Cunnington one.
Cunnington has hit Fantasia right in the mush.
Yep. A reportable, Duck, on what you saw or not?
Oh, it was an open hand push to the chin. Okay, Fantasia stood up.
Might be a fine or a week or something of that nature. Fantasia got the free kick as a result, goes down to half forward. The Bombers kicking south to the Lloyd end.
Well done to Fantasia, because he could have dived, could have gone to ground like some players do, just stood up.
Yep, indeed he did. So boundary throw in here, half forward, JB.
It is. Dor down to Bell-Chambers, and then also Merritt, a high ball inside 50, having to go back with one hand. McDonald, Clark picked it up. Releasing handball, not great. There's Williams in his first game, went without the footy. Smashed into Attlee inside forward 50. It's going to be thrown in the air. And the tacklers stand up. Collier one of them. Tip and Woody the other. 45 from home, Bombers in attack, kicking to the Lordo end, right of your radio dial. High door, down to Merritt again. Lots of the footy always. Retreating handball, and Merritt gets it back. Little ball's good, and here's the Araz. Just hit up nicely at the ball. Kelly was involved there as well.
What about how quickly he got that ball to boot and summed up the situation? That's a rare talent for a player to have, to get the footy under enormous pressure, 60 out, but still be able to get the ball quickly to boot under pressure to the option he wanted.
For a nice start for the Bombers. Just under 2 minutes, first quarter done. Fantasia, 45 from home, not much angle. Deliberate in his approach, 49 metres out. It's low and no good.
Lazy.
No good at all. In fact, out in the full.
Not enough steps, Brian.
No, he was really lazy and didn't have the fluency, as you say, Brownie, with the run-up. So he got it all wrong there, Arazi, old Fantasia. Now North Melbourne to kick it in from the boundary now. A 50-metre penalty here against Joe Danaher, encroaching over the mark. And in fact, it'll be down the field. Cunnington gets it, so...
No, it's 50.
No, it is the 50. I thought I was right in the first place. Never second-guess yourself, Brian. It's barely... Well, it is a 50, I guess, from boundary to the square's 50. So it might even be 55. Rather confusing for you at home. It is for me here as well. Mullet has got it at half-back, so no score. We've played 2 3/4 minutes in the game so far. Mullet out wide looking for Waite. Waite protected the back beautifully of Garner. Garner plays on immediately. Long ball. Ben Brown bound. Have a look at this. The Bombers 3-on-1 him. Off hands Higgins, the acting skipper. Got it working along the ground. Hit the bottom of the post. Nicely constructed though by Higgins. First score goes with North Melbourne, one behind. Bombers yet to score.
Probably should have done better. He go there.
Yeah, read that.
He didn't hit it flush, I don't think.
No,
I reckon he kicked his own heel at the back there, which affected the
Collier's kicked it straight into the hands of Josh Williams, the debutant.
Oh, he's going to go into that group, is he?
Jeez, have a look at this. He's got the real sort of pinhead styling, sort of Luke Darcy style bonks on him.
Which group's that, Doug?
2 men. How many players? First kick, goal.
It's about the 250 mark for Bosch Tools.
Oh, there you go.
250.
Yes.
Gee, it's exclusive.
Duck and Bristol worrying about that. Brownie and I worrying about the shape of his bonds. Josh Williams, first kick in the big time, on the way, and... Oh, he likes it! And look at him get around him. He was playing for Werribee about half an hour ago and has come into the team because Tarrant's come out and he's kicked the first in the big time. Good for you, young man. National Crime Check scoreboard 117 Kangas. Bombers haven't scored and we have played 4 minutes.
Tell you what every
dream.
player,
What a
every
dream.
17 players of the Kangaroo lineup then got to him, rushed to him, and they were genuinely happy, which can lift your team as well.
And he was happy, Brownie. What about the smile on his face? Couldn't believe it.
Nothing better than kicking a goal, Brian.
Oh, well, there you go.
Especially with your first kick in your first game.
Or any kick.
Okay. So young Jason Williams, as JB rightly pointed out, half an hour ago, wasn't actually in the side, hadn't done any of the warm-up. Tarrant late withdrawal, he's in. And his name is Josh Williams, if you're wondering. I was. Here's Heppel. Down to the middle. Beautiful little palm down. McDonald tipping Woody in the path. Clean gather. Left foot now. Oh, look at that to Fantasia. And Fantasia's marked 15 out on a slight angle. He'll run around and play on. Fantasia's got it. Essendon get their first goal. One straight to North Melbourne, 117 on the National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, that's that quick ball movement that we're talking about.
Slick.
Yeah, centre clearance. McDonald tipping Woody. Beautiful kick on his left foot. Just weighted the ball perfectly for Fantasia. And, well, he's in everything at the minute. Little Fantasia got a smack in the mush. Missed goal out in the full and now kicked one.
Just got drawn in, the halfbacks for North. Brownie, didn't they? They all came into the contest, and once it spread out wide, there was always going to be
Space, wasn't there?
Yep. That was beautifully done. He's a magnificent user of the football, McDonald, Tip and Woody. As we're back in the middle, 1 goal apiece, Kangas by a point. Etihad Stadium, as Brian Taylor said, good crowd. Mad Jack Door extends high. Comes now to Darcy Parish. High inside forward 50 ball. McDonald goes back with courage but can't take it. Rebounding now the Kangaroos. Waite's going to fly from behind. Goddard has to defensively fist. Numbers here for the Bombers. Goddard's pick up really good. Handball away to Laverty. Inside forward 50 he goes, but all the North Melbourne Footy Club, and Durden takes a relieving mark.
It's one area of Laverty's game where he needs to clean up. He's going to be a good player. He's got a good size about him, reads it well, but his foot skills right now aren't AFL standard.
Yeah, told to play on here, smothered by the Bombers in their defensive area, North Melbourne. Just looking at the kicking, I've just been through the list very quickly without spending a lot of time on a brownie. To back up your point, Laverty, one of those that I haven't put a mark next to as one of their good kicks. You wonder why they can go so fast and so quick. 16 of their 22 today, I reckon, are all capable kicks.
Yeah. Good call, Brian.
Pretty good result. And that's probably why Worsfold's got the faith in letting them go and trying to score quickly down the middle. Boundary throw in here. Half forward for the Bombers. It is a 1-point lead at the moment with North Melbourne here early in the first quarter. Coming out of the pack with the ball was Swallow. Swallow got the handball wide there to Durden. Now North Melbourne able to go forward with the footy here to centre wing. On the city side of the ground, the mark has been paid. And it's Big Ben Brown right on the wing. Goes with a low ball and didn't quite get it to Garner. And chipping in front is Myers.
Short ball.
Might have even been Hartley.
Hartley got it to Goddard. And now Myers. Just got to bash it on the left foot and go long down the line. Durden's parked there. Should mark and does. Important they get something out of this kid, Brownie, taken high in the draft, has sat on the list for a couple of years. And now they're giving him some extended exposure to the top level. Short Higgins. And there's a man who's played a lot of footy at the top level, Scott Thompson. Back to Clark. And this is the problem for that young man. Just turn it over.
Turning it over by foot, JB. They just don't look confident. Have a look at McKenna, one of the Irish boys, a new one. His kick not so good on that occasion, but he's one of the good kicks in the team as well. Mark has been taken by Durden, the man that you mentioned, JB. Got to give them something. Goes out wide here, Durden, and North Melbourne just in the go-slows here at the moment.
16 in the 2014 draft, Durden, so just about the time now, third year in, start to show something.
Nielsen goes down the line. Good ball to Garner. Garner has taken the mark right on the National Tree Day logo, thanks to our great mates at Toyota, been supporting National Tree Day for yonks. North Melbourne are going to be in trouble if they continue to share the ball across half-back like they are.
Nielsen, true centre half-back. Sticks it wide and misses the target. Clark's got to track the footy and it'll go out of play right in front of the interchange bench to be thrown in.
They are turning the footy over a bit, North Melbourne. You've got to give credit to the Bombers how quickly they're setting up behind the footy at the moment, because they can't go forward because there's so many Bombers players behind the footy, so they have to go spread it wide, and at the moment they're not hitting the targets.
Throw in. Bell Chambers, Majak Door. Bell Chambers to the front. And a big pack of players to send on top of the footy and Myers, and there's going to be another ball up on the wing. 117 North, 1 straight 6 Essendon. We've played 9 minutes first term, Etihad Stadium, Triple M footy Saturday afternoon. No better place to be. Bell Chambers down again. Myers was really good, got it to Watson. Watson back to Goddard. Low handball looking for Zaharakis, missed him, out of play.
Really solid crowd in here today, JB. Look at the top deck, almost going right back, so good crowd, maybe 35, Ash.
Yeah, I reckon you're spot on, BT. They've averaged 36 past 5.
Okay, well, I don't often get it wrong. Here's a little opportunity here now for Cunnington. Try to shovel the handball backwards there to McDonald. McDonald, Tippenwoody got in the way, but McDonald of North Melbourne with a fantastic tackle on McDonald, Tippenwoody. What a rundown tackle it was. In the meantime, the ball has gone to Waite. He takes the mark at centre half back. He wanted to go a little deeper.
Jeez.
Instead, he went sideways, been picked up here by the Kangaroos. And the kick to Brown is absolutely fantastic from Zerha. And Brown has taken the mark, but he'll have to kick at 55.
It's a good take from Brown.
Gives the handball off to Waite. Don't know why he did that.
Oh, no.
Waite went for the short ball and missed the lot. McKenna of Essendon went for the soccer and missed the ball completely. Now an opportunity for Garner. Turns onto the right boot and a ping, and he's got it.
Jeez.
So North Melbourne get one in a passage of play that was full of errors from both sides. 2-1-13 North. Essendon, 1 straight goal, National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, we talked about uncontested marks for the Bombers before the game, man. That was your magical stat. Well, I tell you what, the Kangaroos already 12, the Bombers only 5. So trying to control the footy. They've made a lot of mistakes, have the Kangaroos, but so are the Bombers. But right now in control, North.
Taylor Garner, Brownie, you'd like this boy. He's a ripping Dandenong Bogan. No other way to describe him.
I like the way he plays though, Jim.
Yep, he has a crack, and they'll need to today. Undermanned against a very good Essendon team. At the moment, 2-1-13. The Bombers 1 straight 6. Very early stages. Back in the middle. Door down to Swallow was nice. Now Jamont. Handball to Cunnington. Cunnington takes a couple of tacklers on, gave it to Majak Dor. Back to Dumont, half forward, inside 50, poor kick. Chopped out by McKenna really well, and it goes out of play. About 55, 60 from home.
He doesn't look that fast, Taylor Garner, but when they released stats during the week about the top 10 fastest players tracked on the thing on the back of their neck, I can't think of that at the moment, but he was in the top 10 fastest players in the AFL for kilometres per hour.
What is that thing called, Brownie, on reflection? Have you got any idea that what it might be called on the back of the neck?
It is the tracker, bro.
GPS,
Yes.
Brownie,
Yes.
would be the correct terminology. Here's Brown on the lead, couldn't hold the mark, and free kick is going to go the way of Brown for a knock of the arms.
I want to know why Garner wears that headband. He hasn't got long hair.
JB just
I'm
told
telling you,
he's from Dandenong.
You're ripping Dandenong Bogan Duck. That's what he is, Guns. He's just happy with it too.
Brown's gone a long way back for the kick. The man on the mark is standing at, I'm telling you now, no more than 25 metres out. Brown is nearly on the wing. He's 20 metres outside 50, so he's 70 metres out for a 25 to 30 metre kick. We know he loves the long run up, and he uses all of it to get his balance and poise, and he comes in for their third goal and hits the post. And Amana score. 2-2-14 the Roos. Essendon yet to get going. One straight on the National Crime Check scoreboard.
Might be a long go at Ben Brown, but he does the same thing every time.
Bad miss. Comes to the back. Majak Dor, look at it. Look at Orazio. Fantasia come bursting through. Swallow did really well. Rode the bump. Back inside 50. Brown extends. Waits there as well. Thought it may be a really good defensive mark taken, not paid. Hartley, I think, was the player who I thought had a good piece of it. Anyway, it's going to be balled up inside forward 50 for North. 2-2, one straight. Ball to be thrown up. Lee Fisher, the former Saint, does that job. Danaher, nicely done out of the ruck, but he gets it straight into the hands of Gibson. Gibson from the forward pocket. Hoists it high, he's going to miss two. And 2-3-15, North Melbourne now to one straight 6. Essendon Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Kick back into play by the Bombers. This one looks a little bit better. Deeper from McDonald. Tipton Woody couldn't quite get hands on it. Well done by North to get it towards the boundary line by Luke McDonald over the line out of bounds.
Bosch Tool stats, contested ball 15-8 North Melbourne's way, and they've had 4 out of the last 5 entries inside 50.
15-6 on the scoreboard, North Melbourne's way. That's the National Crime Check scoreboard. Police checks fast and 100% online. Boundary throw in, Danaher doing the ruck work. Majak Dor went to ground rather awkwardly. Handball from Heppel comes back to one of the best users in the business, Merritt. He goes for the all-or-nothing kick to Zahar Rakas. Couldn't get hands on it. Hurley went the soccer out of midair. He missed all ball. Bagley, the hard-nosed operator, didn't quite get rid of it, and he's been pinged for holding the ball, and it's Garner to get the free inside the centre square.
It's fair to say the Bombers want to do all the fancy stuff at the moment, Duck, and the Kangaroos are getting their hands dirty.
Short kick to Attlee, point of the square. Half forward, kicking to the left of screen, North Melbourne. And again, short to Trent Dumont, who's about 80-75 from home.
Every player in the Kangaroos forward half of the ground.
Dumont off a step, goes to the pocket, looking for Benny Brown, has it fisted away. Handball broken up. Snap, I think, from Gibson's going to land with Waite in the pocket. Jared Waite, right next to the behind post. He runs around on the left, and he's going to have to go back and kick it again because the umpire had called the play dead.
Essendon's kicking efficiency at the moment, Brownie, 50%. They've also had 10 turnovers to North Melbourne's 4, so it's the Bombers. You spoke about all of those good kicks, BT. Right now, they are butchering the footy.
They are.
This will take a very good kick. Wrong side for a right footer, so the run around left foot banana bristle, or the check side as they call it in South Australia.
Looks like he's going the check side.
All right. Never know what you're going to get with Jared Waite. He is doing exactly that, and it has gone through.
Sure.
Nicely done. Jared Waite got the Kangas third, 3-3-21 to one straight 6 on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, they would have wanted their midfield to get going early, the Bombers. Heppel's only had 2, Watson 1, Zaharakis 1, and Parrish 1. That's their engine room, not getting their hands on the footy. North Melbourne are taking full advantage of that and not giving the ball back at the moment like they did in the first couple of minutes, the Kangaroos.
Bruise-free footy from an Essendon point of view, isn't it?
It is. It is. This is a really poor start from a side that people are saying, you know,
Big
playing well enough
aspirations.
to play, finals footy.
Yeah, Majak Dor's gone into the middle.
So that was Bell Chambers, both off the bench, BT.
Yep. And just arrived in the nick of time to compete for this one here. Lee Fisher to bounce it in the middle. It's a 15-point margin here in favour of North. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in the opening 15 minutes. Here's Heppel Brownie. You mentioned him not getting a lot of it. There's one little touch. Goes to Myers sideways. Myers now, he's a good user. Finds McDonald, tipping Woody 50 out. Wanted someone to come at him. Toys with the man on the mark. Now he gets a right foot inch around the corner. Danaher flew. Bell Chambers crashed into his own man. Danaher had it done. Watson got the handball out to Merritt. Merritt left foot snap around the corner. A little bit of a push there from Stewart. Not seen. Danaher got it, snap, goal. Looked a little more lively from the Bombers. Bell Chambers raises the hand to Danaher and says, sorry, mate, you were going to mark that. I did crash into you, and I didn't mean it. 2 straight 12, Essendon North, 3-3-21 on the National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, there's comparisons with Buddy at the moment, and you've got to love the way he went at the footy on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen and didn't worry about the fact that his teammate crashed into him, probably cost him mark of the year. He got straight back up, back to the goal square, whereas his opponent was still tracking the footy, and he's got footy smarts down to her. When he has to use, I guess, when he doesn't have to think about it too much, he's got really good instinctive behaviours like Lance Franklin does to be able to snap that goal.
He's able to get goals in other ways rather than just mark and kick.
3-3-21 to 2 straight 12 back in the middle. Watson had it, lost it, got it back. Well done, got it to Collier. Now Heppel, backward of the centre square, distributes out wide, nicely too. Finds Laverty right on the wing. Back to Myers. Left foot down the line, ball is good. Here's McKenna, half forward Bombers. Just starting to get some lift in their footy. Inside 50, McKenna, long and high. Nice mark, Mullet, not paid. Didn't quite have enough. Picked up. Tip and Woody should concede here, North Melbourne, and they do through Durden. In fact, it was Nielsen. And they behind the result. 2-1-13 Essendon. 3-3-21 North Melbourne. Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
The last 2 centre clearances, Heppel has gone straight to the wing. As soon as he wins that ball, goes straight out to a loose player on the outer side.
Mullet kicked the ball in very, very short. Kick across the face of goal. Knocked down by Fantasia. McDonald tipping Woody onto it and got it. The kick in, I think, came from Clark, was it? Yes, it may have been.
Sorry, Bristol, I was
Nevertheless, McDonald finished it. It was a kick in from near the behind post. Only went 10 metres. McDonald tipping Woody the interceptor. The goal for the Bombers. All of a sudden, here they are within 2 points of North on the National Crime Check scoreboard halfway through the first.
Tell you what, Fantasia's looked really sharp in the first 15 minutes of this game. To be able to pick that one off just shows you're in the game. You're realising what they're trying to do. He went early, got the spoil, and so was this man too. Tip and Woody's been really good. Probably their 2 best players, their 2 smallest players.
Might have been Higgins, actually.
Yeah, I think it was Higgins.
It's a useless kick, though, that kick out from full back to a bloke that close, right in the pocket.
Yeah.
Just 2 points, the margin. Any more from you, Ash, on that one?
Contested ball last 5 minutes now, 10-3 Essendon's way.
Cunnington, hands and knees, and then just handball to green grass. It suits Collier, runs in, kicks it straight into a man standing right in front of him in Trent Dumont. Majak Daw taken high, will get a free. Centre of Etihad Stadium. Game starting to open up a bit. 3-3-3-1. And that will suit Essendon. The more open and free-flowing this game becomes, the more dangerous they become. Daw, handball off to Clark. Clark sits it up, shows a hell of a lot of it to the defence. Higgins makes it work, runs to about 55, pumps it high and wide. Brown can't take it. Out of play, it's going to be thrown in very deep. Fletcher end left of your radio dial.
Boundary throw in. Deep in the North Melbourne attack zone.
Hearing some of the vault there, Brisbane.
Bit of dead air there. Up they go. Knockdown comes in favour of North Melbourne. Got some numbers. Collier able to get on the end of it though. Gave it to Watson. He was confronted immediately by Atley trying to bust through on that occasion was Zerha. No success. North have a little ping across the face of goal. Picked up here by Hurley. Brushed off the handball very, very nicely to McKenna. McKenna out in front of the speedy Collier. He's pursued. Ball taken away by Garner. Did really well. Got the little handball off here to Nielsen. Backwards they go. They maintain possession. Mountford just sends a long North Melbourne ball forward. Up goes Brown. Couldn't get on the end of it. Comes back now to Nielsen.
Nielsen sits it high. Benny Brown's parked under it. Really good defensive work done there by Bell Chambers and also Hartley. And now Hurley sees it out. Hurley interests me today, Ash. How much of it's he had, please?
Yeah, Hurley's only had the 3 handballs, JB, no marks.
Averaging close to 30 possessions a game in recent times.
Spot on, he's had 25 for the year.
Will they put work into him, or we'll wait and see? Merritt's a superstar, so is Watson. It comes now to Hurley. That's his first kick. Measures it nicely to Laverde. It's broken up by Mullet. Ball on the ground. Gibson on the up to Atley. Atley's got to wheel around, get it inside 50. He does so now. Parked under it. Zerha couldn't take it. McGrath can. He's ripped in a Brown tackle. Higgins is also claimed in a very strong Hartley tackle. About 35 out. The umpire's going to throw it up.
So the ball up, as you say, 30 to 35 metres out from North's goal. 3-3-21 North, 3-1-19 the Bombers here. National Crime Check scoreboard. Umpire lets it go. Mad Jack Door went high but failed to make contact with the footy. It came back and almost hit him in the mush as Collier closed in. We'll have another ball up. Parrish is in there. Bell Chambers is there. Mad Jack Door for North Melbourne along with Sean Higgins. Atley, they're all there. 30 metres out, another ball up from North's goal. Bell Chambers knocked down. Watson went through his hands. McKenna got it again. Nice little dribble along the ground. Fantasia had it momentarily. Agree with you, Brownie. Does look sharp. Kick goes back inside 50 for the Roos. Collier farmed off the handball. This looks better for the Bombers through the middle of the ground. Picked up there on that occasion by Hooker. He turned on a thruppity bit. Got it in the path of Goddard. Picked it up. Took a bounce. Thought about a second. He now wants to find someone inside 50. Over the top. Just got a nice little elevator ride.
Jeez, give it to the marker.
He's giving it.
Humpy.
You always give it to the marker.
What are you doing?
Paul. There's been just a little indiscriminate off to the side, and Laverde has claimed it. And if I were Jaden, give the ball to Joey, mate. Tell him to kick it.
No, well, if there's a free kick and a mark in the one contest, they normally
pay the mark.
Especially a beautiful hitch and grab like that.
Yeah.
Laverde, as a result, 30 metres out directly in front, comes in and butchers it. He absolutely butchers it. 3-2-20 the Bombers, 3-3-21 North.
She's an exciting footballer, Joe Danaher. Yeah. Isn't he going to give some beautiful viewing over the next decade?
And he enjoys every bit of it.
Yep. He is just worth the price of admission.
It's almost like a kid playing school footy or something, really enjoying it, isn't he?
Yep. Mullet long. Garner had it fisted away. Atley came in from the side. Heppel's really good. Gave it off to McKenna. To Zaharakis. Left foot around the body ball. McDonald tipping Woody brilliantly to the front. And Hooker's kicked a very nice goal. Very nicely done there, the Bombers. They hit the front. 4-2, 26, 3-3, 21. Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, it was very well done by McDonald tipping Woody because he had to make the contest. He was the one that brought it to the ground. It was a 2-on-1 situation. He's only a little man, but he got up there and just patted it straight to the front of the pack, and that's exactly where Hooker was. Very, very clever. He does it all, McDonald tipping Woody. So does Fantasia. That's why these guys are in the team. They don't just kick goals. Yeah. They keep the ball in and they do everything right.
It's a good point. And after North Melbourne's fast start where they kicked 3-1, the Bombers have kicked the last 3 and they hit the front for the first time in the quarter by 5 points. 5.5 minutes remaining. Hooker, the front and centre player on that occasion. Out of the middle, Myers got the clearance and a real penetrating ball on the head of Hooker. He failed to make contact with it in the air. Danaher's there as well. Ball lurking. Parrish got the tackle there. This time on McDonald it was, pulled to the ground. Zaharakis' kick was partially smothered, and now the Kangaroos looking to take away the footy here. Big opportunity for them. Picked up by Rovat, couldn't make it work. Bombers forced the turnover. Stewart through traffic, gave a little handball back to gentleman James Kelly. He got her off, but North keep coming and coming and coming. They're pushing the Bombers backwards.
Yep, the footy's out of play right in front of the interchange. Mick Hurley sees it out, and that young man's got a big job, Nick Larkey, game 1 against one of the premier big defenders in the comp. In Michael Hurley, it's a 5-point lead, Bombers. We've played 25 in this first term. To the back, too easy. Zaharakis able to just bring it away from that stoppage. Kicked it forward. Here's Hooker. Thought there was a push. Nothing doing. And Hooker dumps it straight into the hands of Clark. I think it was Mountford who was coming at it.
Had Joey long.
Yep, Declan Mountford now to Gibson. And Gibson sits a little wide one. And there is Clark, the player I mentioned before. He takes it just outside defensive 50.
He's receding rather badly, isn't he?
Yep, he's got a choice to make quickly. Do you stick with the shag or just get rid of it and go with the pinhead?
It's always finasteride.
Yeah, well, that's it, but you might have other issues with that one. I speak of personal experience. I think you might do too, Brownie. As through comes the Bombers to half forward with a high ball. Dangerous here, Hooker. So is Danaher. McDonald, that's Luke, having a very good season. Gets through a couple of tacklers and then then distributes wide and finds Garner.
Did really well. Difficult situation. Luke McDonald made it look easy. Did it by himself. Short ball, Rovat. Rovat on the wing, immediately wanting to shift the ball as quickly as possible in the direction of that Dumont on that occasion. He couldn't get hold of the footy. Ball picked up by the Roos. They go deep off the boot of Swallow. And a mark inside 50 has been paid to Waite. 35 to 40 metres out on a fairly tough angle for Waite.
Used his body really well then. He had Hurley coming in from the side, and just as Hurley went to jump, he leant back into him, didn't allow him to jump, put him off his back foot, and was able to take an easy mark in the end.
Not a lot of noise when North Melbourne mark it, and the reason for that, it's a Bombers home game here today at Etihad, under the roof, and they hold the majority of support. So here he is, Waite, already kicked one in the quarter to stop the run of successive goals for the Bombers at 3. Waite just comes in very calmly. As you say, Brownie, he liked it the moment it left the boot. So he's got a couple, and North Melbourne bite back and lead by a point.
Such is the dislike for North Melbourne with Essendon, Bristol. The North Melbourne fans don't want to come and have to pay and it end up in Essendon's coffers.
I never knew about the history.
That's how bad. No, I'm only joking.
You've got a bit of a thing against North, BT.
I'm only joking.
Me?
They are very good drawers, Essendon. They always have been, and their fans are up and about because they're playing a ripping brand of footy.
What have I said wrong?
You've just got always had a bugbear about
the crowd.
Pretty much everything.
Just full stop. 4-3, 4-2, a point to North here. And for McDonald's, the McCafe's best blend yet at McCafe drive-through near you. Poor bounce and called to go. Should have been recalled. Works for the Bombers though. Jobe Watson's hands brilliant. Goddard now low and hard. Look at that kick. Magnificent. Just picked out Hooker on a long lead.
He's got great hands, Hooker.
Yep. Outside 50. He'll sit it. Looking for Joey Danaher. Why not? It won't get to him. Luke McDonald, good mark.
Oh, he's having a good game, McDonald.
And now he's got to come back and kick it over the mark. The old finasteride, Brownie, you've got a choice. You can either have hair and not as much lead in the pencil as you'd like, or you can have the lead and lose some of your shag.
You can have both.
You can have both.
Well, with modern medicine, maybe you can, but I'm talking back in the day. We're going a long way back here to Clark, who has an inside defensive 50, and he'll go back to Luke McDonald. Now this is where it gets dangerous. Oh, very, very iffy kick just found. The marking Durden. And now Attlee. Attlee handball to the back of a man who wasn't even looking at him in Rovat. Rovat's in all sorts. Goes to Gibson by hand. They're going to cock this right up north. Attlee ran and then handball to an opponent, McGrath, and here we go, Bombers. Inside 50, they'll set it up. Huge job for Nielsen here. He's taken a very good mark.
Yeah, he did well to come back on the footy, shoveled out the handball backwards to McDonald. His kick's got to be good. And Garner made it look better than it was, actually. And took a very nice mark at half-back.
McDonald tipping Woody's run through the 10-metre area.
Okay, so
they've suddenly discovered this rule again, Brian.
Yep.
They ignored it for 15 weeks.
Means that Garner will come almost to the middle of the ground here and wait for the opportunity to go forward. He goes sideways. They love sticking it into the hands of McDonald. How many times today, Ash?
5 touches.
He's going real well at the moment. The ball in the direction of Brown, but completely outmarked by Bell Chambers. Then Bell Chambers has taken the mark in the last line of defence for the Bombers.
That's a ripping mark. Good to see him back in form too. Big Belcho, kick down the line. Yep, he's a big part of this Essendon setup. Clark's worried out of it brilliantly by Hooker. Got to go back and get it. Garner's playing nice football. Sits it short to Rovat, who takes a pretty good mark in front of Myers. Just a point separates these two teams. Rovat going to go sideways and get it to Luke McDonald, who's on the wing. Robbie Tarrant laid out, just a reminder. So Josh Williams has come in to play his first game. North Melbourne today with 7 players who have played less than 10 games. 10 debutants on the season. The moment they're hanging in. Wide, Gibson. Gets it into the hands of Durden. Durden over the top, wide. Not a great ball. Looking for Andrew Swallow. Takes it just inside the field of play and then walks over the line.
JB just with Taylor Garner, number 1 ranked player on the ground. 8 disposals and 1 major. Just with the uncontested marks, 29-10 North Melbourne's way.
And North by a point at the 30-minute mark of this first quarter. Just under a minute remaining. Got a boundary throw in half forward here for the Kangaroos. Umpire whips it back into play. Wasn't his best throw, didn't go towards the middle. Cunnington got a little one forward. Now North Melbourne, a big opportunity here. Very, very deep. Hurley backing back, able to just flick the ball back in the field of play. It was well done by him. Little one back out to Hartley, back to Hurley. Kick along the ground, didn't get a lot. Garner picked it up, puts it down the throat of Waite, who was waiting back a little. And he's taken the mark 45 metres out on a tough angle for weight.
Well, he's kicking the ball nicely today.
Is your pocket, Bristol?
Yep, runner's gone to him to tell him about the clock, which says 27 seconds. And he's in the slider pocket. He's where the 50-metre line intersects the boundary. He'll cross that intersection and then come to about 45 metres out. Slide territory, kicks it, it slides right now. There it goes, and almost out of bounds in the end, so just scrapes in for a behind. So the Kangas at quarter time are going to lead it by 2 points. Good crowd here at the moment, as we're seeing on the Chemist Warehouse screen there. Magnificent crowd in, almost 40,000. Discover the new David Beckham fragrance. Respect at Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. It is the Roos by 2 points for McDonald's. Triple M rocks quarter-time footy.
This quarter was brought to you by National Crime Check. Police checks fast and 100% online for McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.